Hey, good morning, everybody, and Merry Christmas to everybody. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm amazed and overwhelmed to have new people on. I'm very appreciative. A lot of honestly, I came across Bo the Fifth Column about a month back, and I attribute a lot of you guys discovered me along after I discovered him, and I noticed that although I think he's way he's above me, man. His knowledge, his information, he's amazing to watch. I love watching him. I learn something every time I watch his videos. His knowledge of politics and the military, history, amazing. But I think a lot of you guys discovered that I'm in the same vein as him, and I am. So I welcome you guys, and I made a point of raising my bar too. I do a lot more research on my videos, and I've made a point before. I discovered I was attracting back about a month or two ago. I was going about it the wrong way. I was antagonizing Trump supporters, and that's all I was attracting. So all I got was really negative feedback. And again, it goes back to my basic belief in positive motivation. And I should have known this. And once I started talking more to people like me, my channel found a lot more success. And like I said, being a strong believer in positive motivation, I really should have discovered this earlier. But anyway, so I welcome all you guys. And like I was saying, and responding to the comments because a lot of the comments a couple months ago, a lot of the comments were just let's just say they weren't worth responding to. I'll leave it at that. Now I'm getting in the habit. I love reading your comments now. Your comments are amazing, supportive, very informative. I love when you guys correct my stuff or tell me about new stuff. That's how you learn. I have no problem with people correcting me and updating me and all that. I love that. So that's how I learned. All right. Now, on this Christmas, I didn't want to get serious, but what's been concerning me as of late is North Korea. John Bolton. I didn't know he was Bush's former ambassador to the UN. He was in the Trump administration. Now he's criticizing the Trump administration for not having his people testify. He's hinted around, or Trump's obstruction of Congress, what the rest of us call it. And his talk of North Korea, and he's pretty much said that the Trump administration is at a point now where they have to just admit that they dropped the ball on this one. They were wrong. And come on, we all know that Trump is not going to. When has Trump ever admitted he was wrong? Supposedly, I heard him say again the other day that I studied windmills. I know more about windmills than anybody. I cannot believe this guy still says that line. I wish somebody's was taking a running tally of what Trump knows more about than anybody else, because it's got to be in the hundreds by now. So anyway, on to North Korea. So I was looking into the North Korea thing today, and it's troubling. The satellite images show that they've been actually expanding their factories. They're building for long-range nuclear weapons that would reach the United States. That's what they're working on right now. You add to that Kim Jong-il just last week saying that he had a Christmas present if the United States wasn't more supportive if Trump didn't start kissing some more ass and sending more money to North Korea, we're going to send you a Christmas present. When I saw that initially, when I saw that Christmas present comment, I was like, is he threatening the mainland, the United States, with a nuclear weapon? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounded like he was going to send us a Christmas present. Other people now have taken it to mean that it's going to be a test of long range. Let me stress, long range nuclear missile, or a missile capable of carrying nuclear weapons, meaning that it can reach. They are working on being able to nuke the United States. Plain and simple, fact. Fact, the satellites, everything, even Trump's own former advisors, John Bolton, admits this and is concerned about this. And the very troubling thing is Trump does not seem to be concerned about it. First of all, we all know from the past presidents, you don't court Kim Jong-il. It's these head games. And as far as head games, Putin, Kim Jong-il, the Saudis are just miles above Trump when it comes to head games. They play him like a fiddle. That's how I see it. Especially Putin, being an ex-KGB operative. They play Trump like a fiddle. We all knew that he screwed up going over there. We of course, we all wish for the best. I mean, we're all Americans. We all live here in the United States. And we all hoped for the best. But in the back of our minds, we knew, there's a reason why the past presidents never even talked to him. Just played hardball. And that's it. And now we know why. Kim Jong-il had, Trump looks at him as a buddy. He's not so bad. So he's a dictator. His people love him. What was that crazy comment that he said about his people, how they respond to him? Yeah, they respond to him. They're starving. They're fucking in concentration camps. Yeah, I would respond to him too if I was going to be put in a freaking cell for the rest of my life. Oh my God. It's very concerning. And I thought about the divisiveness in this country and how Trump supporters now, going back to the 12-step program, I'm in recovery. The first step in any problem, in any issue, when things get out of hand is acknowledging that there's a problem. And we know that, meaning the rest of us. But Trump supporters refuse to acknowledge that. They keep going back to this, that they all use this excuse. I don't know if it's an excuse or if they really believe it, that we're all upset about 2016 and it's just, sour grapes. That's all. They just don't like Trump because he bested Hillary. I actually heard family members say he schlonged Hillary. He was going to schlong Hillary. And these are good Christians. Yeah. Anyway, and they refuse to even acknowledge there's a problem. And as long as that is the situation, there can't be much joining together in how to resolve and actually make our country better. As long as they refuse to acknowledge that there's serious issues with Trump. I mean, I know we're all concerned about the 2020 election and Russia and everybody else that can get access to our infrastructure here. And Trump just constantly refuses to even acknowledge that there's even a problem. And that with North Korea, and I mean, this is getting serious, very serious and troubling to the rest of the country. And Trump supporters just keep going back to there's some more jobs and I got 20 extra bucks in my weekly paycheck. So, hey, it's all good. And and there's less brown people. So great, and we got a president that wants everybody to stand for the national anthem. So they're happy as pie. They refuse to admit there's any problems. Trump can do no wrong. And he could stay in power for the rest of his life. And then after that, his sons, for as far as they're concerned, that's their dream. This is troubling. This is very troubling to the rest of the country. The people that actually pay attention to what's going on, the people that actually watch the real news. That's another thing. This Fox News, I watched that, and it's gone beyond. They talk about CNN, and CNN gives Trump a hard time. True. But and I say this seriously, from everything I've seen, what they report is true. When I look at Fox, the stuff they're reporting is not true. It's innuendo. It's conspiracy theory. It's stuff that's not true. That has no business being in any anything called news. I mean, to me, they're just going. Every day they go farther and farther into propaganda, conspiracy theory, and just far right wing nonsense. And this is making the problem worse because Trump supporters look at that as their Bible when it comes. That's their real news. And that's another thing. Trump has this half the country or a third of the country, 40% of the country convinced that they're getting the real news, that they're getting the actual truth from him and from Fox News. That is a problem. That's a big problem. Yeah, and it makes me worry about the country in the future because if and when we finally get past Trump, we're still, the rest of these people are still going to be the voting public, at least until they get into retirement homes or age out. I got hope for the newer generations. I do. I don't think they're believing this nonsense with Trump. I think every day Trump is ostracizing them more and more, and that brings me hope for the future, some hope for the future. But I didn't want to get serious on this Christmas, but North Korea is a problem, a big problem. Like I said, even when John Bolton, Trump's own former, I'm not sure to be. I know I've been avoiding this. I'm not. I've been looking it up, and I'm not quite sure exactly what position he held in the Trump administration. One of you guys can tell me that in the comments, please. I looked through 3 or 4 different articles this morning, and I found that he worked for the Bush administration as an ambassador. But I honestly didn't find what exact. I don't know if he was defense or was that Mathis. Anyway. There's a problem. There's a big problem with North Korea. There's a big problem with our voting security. And we need to talk about this. We need to look into this. And as long as Trump supporters refuse to even admit that there's a problem, as long as they just keep their fingers in their ears, going, nah, I can't hear you. Make America great. Trump does no wrong. There's a big problem. And it's concerning the rest of us more and more every day. So unfortunately, that's where we're at in these last days of 2019. All right, enough seriousness. All right, you guys have a great Merry Christmas. Tell the people around you you love them, because we never know when it's going to be. It might be our last Christmas. Something to think about. All right, you guys have a great Christmas. I'll talk to you tomorrow.